Sometimes all you need is a friend and a shitload of bullets. Vigor is one of these games where the difference between a well-organised, well-loaded team and 3 randoms is very large. It's not the guns and equipment that make the difference, it's the communication and the understanding between players. Like when I play with some of my friends, we basically, as a trio, we form a V when we move, so it's almost impossible to line all 3 of us up in one go. So sometimes when you come under fire, one of us can fall because it's bigger, a headshot will kill you. But the ability as a V for one person to get engaged and then the other 2 people flank in either directions really hard means that you can very often be fired at first but then win the fight, and quite a few times without losing a player. Using the mark system is also something that separates the good and bad teams and the good and bad players. I mean, please, for God's sake, mark where the player is, get that red skull on the map. Once everybody says okay, get the bloody thing off the map so we can see in the area that you've marked. For the love of God, please. One of the reasons I like the triangle formation is the pressure it puts on the opposing team. Because very often, even though you can't shoot at all 3 players at once, they are moving towards you in obviously an organised formation. People start to fluff their shots. They generally fluff their shots. Shots that they would hit if they could only see one person and had no pressure on them, they would hit that shot. But what I find, even as the point man, so the head, the closest person, the one that's going to get the ambush, half the time the people will miss that first shot. And then at that point, panic sets in, and if you're organised and have good communication, you can pretty much wrap round the opposing team and finish him off from multiple angles. Also, something that's very important when you're in a team is to coordinate your attack. Like here in a minute, we know we're against a duo because we've already lost our third, but in doing so, he had actually already killed one of them, but they don't know where we are. So we strike against one and kill him, and then push the one remaining player. Now what we do, we use him as the point of the V. So my teammate is off to the left, I push him to the right, and as you can see, in trying to get me, he opened up his right flank, which got shot at, and then trying to defend there, he moved around the tree, and then I finished him off. That was done because of the coordination in our strike against him. Also, if you're serious about the win, and obviously you discuss this with your teammates before you start, sometimes on this game, silence is golden while we're trying to listen to people approaching. Sound is a key part of this game, so just endlessly waffling on, just kind of masks other people's sound as we're being pushed. So this is what I'd say for any of the younger players who wonder why they always get kicked. They get kicked because you don't shut up, in all honesty. Sometimes coordinating movement with a false attack is also very important. So if you're looking to push somebody, then using fire from one of your teammates to cover your movement is very important. The amount of times either myself or one of my teammates has actually pulled off a full flank on the opposing team because we have literally emptied a couple of mags into their direction in no real hope of actually hitting or killing anybody, but purely for the pressure and the sound cover. So it is very important. Now, what you find against better players, they start to spot if actually them gunshots are for no real reason other than to make sound. And at that point you would find the better teams start to look left and right to look for the flanking player or players. But it is a legitimate tactic. So the reason I never go into a trios match with only 3 or 4 mags, because I want at least 2 mags spare, pretty much just for sound effect, just in case that situation crops up.
You have proved yourself as a killer, but will you stay alive when others know where you are?
On this clip, it is 2v2. The opposing team are together and there's me and my partner on the other side, so we're there like a sandwich. I bug up my first set of shots, rush him into the rock so he doesn't get a good angle on me to get a lucky kill, because that hip fire was luck. I am then in deep trouble, I haven't got much health, and he starts to come towards me, but my teammate basically abandons all silence and runs up the hill. And that forced that player to turn 180 degrees, which allowed me to get an easy kill. Understanding when silence is the best option, but on the flip side, also having the understanding that sometimes a large amount of sound is the best option, separates a good and bad team stroke players. Sometimes being the bush is the best thing you can do. Other times, being the one-man band making as much noise as what you can is the best thing to do. All down to experience, understanding and coordinating with your teammates what is best. Sweet baby Jesus, Mary, Joseph and the wee donkey. That was a copious amount of ammo to use to kill one man. It's also the positive thing of having the M249 at close range. You just unleash Hail Mary until they die.
He's got the bugle and the ADR, you take whatever you need.
And my final point about teamwork on Vigor. When you approach a building, please don't all go in the same door. Please, just for your own health and own well-being. Pick separate doors. One of you pick a window. Please, just don't all run in the same door. Because you're either going to get drilled as you walked in from the front, or the head you just walked past is then going to drill you all in the back. So, please, just pick separate entrances to buildings.
Yeah, like that. Again.
Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the Outland.